Welcome back. This is Walk Through Life. This will be the fourth episode. I'm your host, Ali Ivanov, and I'm going to be solo today. I won't have a partner with me for this one like the previous episodes I've had. I definitely want to preface this episode with saying that it's very important to me that I build a community out of this platform and out of my channel on YouTube here. That's one of my main goals, and if you take anything away from this video and this episode, I hope it's that your feedback is important and encouraged. And I learn things every single day just from talking to people and just getting their thoughts and opinions on just kind of the world around us. So I encourage you to, anything that you hear today in this episode that you feel like commenting on or kind of just sharing your thoughts on, and anything you think might be helpful or useful or something you found funny, I don't mind what it is. I just want to encourage conversation so that it can be kind of mentally stimulating for me as well, because I do a lot of thinking. I think I just don't want to do so much of that thinking alone. I love to have my own ideas and things like that, but I would like to also have more people to kind of bounce those ideas off of, and ideally it would be my YouTube community here. So anyways, I don't have too much of a direction for how today will go, besides kind of just sharing an update on my personal life and what I have going forward, and what my priorities are. For sure, I want to establish that. I think this Walk Through Life podcast and series will also serve for me as a kind of a journal, a way for me to see where my progress was yesterday and see how I can improve on it today, while also kind of building my my online presence here on YouTube. So I think first I should share that I'm about a week out of college. Graduated last week, had my commencement ceremony a week ago yesterday. And I can't lie, the job search so far has been a little rough, just in the sense of trying to determine how best to use my marketing degree based on the amount of experience that I have, and it's not too much experience, in all honesty. There's a fine line of kind of deciding to take the first job I'm offered, or taking my time and having the first job that I get out of college really mean something and be at a company where I could see myself staying for a few years, 5+ years, even. And so far, I think I've definitely just chosen the wrong companies to apply to, haven't done enough research, and chosen companies that are too small or too unknown to really get an idea for who they are before I apply. In this first week, I guess I've really learned to take my time in vetting these companies and making sure that they are established, and really getting down to the specifics and being able to tell what my job specifically, what my role will be at said company. If it's an entry-level job, I've also learned that, if you have a bachelor's degree, chances are most entry-level jobs will be kind of short-term, so that you can build some sales and marketing experience. You might be offered jobs like in retail sales, or even people will say person-to-person marketing and sales, which is really just either door-to-door or just setting up at a store in a booth selling some new products from some marketing firms, clients. Like you'll be selling this last one that I was just offered today. I was just offered a job earlier in the day after having a second round interview, and they're very non-specific on what the job really entails until I called back after they accepted me and said, "Do you want to come in for orientation tomorrow?" And I asked more questions on what a day in the life of someone in that position would be doing. And let me tell you, I was not pleased with their answer at all. And on top of this, from people's eyes that are more experienced than I am, they would have easily been able to tell me that the first two companies that I've interviewed with so far have both been multi-level marketing schemes and companies that kind of are just built around a pyramid scheme. So where you're starting out and there's a small to marginal chance that you'll get promoted within the first month or so, as they say, to the next level, where instead of making those entry-level sales, you're then training people to make those entry-level sales and actually conducting interviews. And they say the entire purpose is for gaining experience in running a business. And as you know, if you don't know by now, I do want to run my own business, but it's not going to be a for-profit. It's not going to be one of these greedy corporations that I hate. It's going to be a nonprofit, and we're going to do very specific projects to help people in niche ways, I think, where there might not be enough attention and light shed on certain things, like the well-being of anybody that's struggling. I feel like with my nonprofit, I just want to help people who are struggling. And I really want to start that work as soon as I can, but there's a roadblock in the way, and that roadblock right now is getting a career type job so that I can have some sense of financial stability, move out of my parents' house, and really just get a start out there in the real world, because that's what I really want. I want some real life experiences. I'm really happy to be out of college, but right now I'm unemployed. Technically I'm unemployed, and I haven't been unemployed for a while. It's not a good feeling, I'll tell you that. And so I've been kind of impatient and rushing in trying to get hired places, and in that urgency I've kind of just just haven't been paying enough attention to where I'm applying. So I actually did send out a lot of applications to nonprofits in the last couple days, about 25 or 30 of them. And then I also am starting to apply to places out of state, Austin, Texas, namely. I think I would love it in Austin because I've been one time and I had a great time. It's just probably one of the most memorable day trips that I've ever had. So that being said, I'm okay with staying in the Phoenix area where I am right now to get started. Save some money out here. The cost of living is pretty high in Phoenix, but it's not really higher than a lot of places, pretty populated cities that most people want to live right now. So I'm not really losing by staying in Phoenix, and I like the desert. I enjoy the heat, but yeah, ultimately for me, I'd like to be somewhere more central. I know that Texas is kind of it's a great place that will connect to kind of wherever you want to go in America. So if you want to go to New York, it's not too out of the way, versus if you're in the far southwest corner in Arizona. To me, I see it as a very connected place with the rest of the country. And I guess that's kind of my reasoning of where I want to live. And I want to talk about my nonprofit because I really care and I'm really passionate about it still. And I honestly believe that I'll never lose that passion for wanting to help people who are struggling, because it's something that I think kind of keeps me up at night and kind of prevents me from being able to, I don't know, sometimes it feels like I'm telling myself that I can't be happy until I see that the world is generally in a better place, because I think it's just so ignorant. I think it's so ignorant to just focus on my own happiness when there's so much that could be done that isn't being done to help people. Specifically, I'm talking about, income disparities and the difference in status between the highest and lowest point of people in America. It just pains me to see that. Okay, my apologies. I kind of got sidetracked in that last recording before I could finish, but I'll take this time to kind of wrap up my thoughts on what I was talking about. I was saying that it basically just pains me to see, people struggling when I see a future in America that, I don't know, it could be several decades or even a century down the line where we just have more equality all around the board, and people don't get left behind without a second thought so much. That's the kind of ideal future I see and what I would like to strive for. But to start out, I think I really have to start small. And as much as I want to focus on big picture stuff, that can't be all I do, because then I'll be the ignorant one that neglects the people who, are suffering the most, and I think the most immediately. One thing in particular that I've been struggling with is, I would love to kind of help lessen the effects of, the homeless situation in a lot of big cities. Trying my best not to ramble, but it just basically pains me to see people struggling. And that's what I want my foundation to help with, is just to help ease people of that pain. I think a big part of what I'd like to focus on is maybe providing free tutoring for kids who, are struggling through school, and they might be the first of their generation to complete high school or get into a college and stuff like that. So I would love to be a part of their success or help out in that way. But, there's a lot of thinking that has to go into that, of the logistics that go behind it, and especially finding the right audience that needs help and is going to be receptive and helpful to us in terms of helping us determine what they need exactly. And so just an idea that is already kind of been in the works before is getting, meals to homeless people, and just doing small things to make their day better or to give them some hope. That's kind of one of my goals for the beginning stages of the $1 Foundation. And so yeah, I think I'll throw up the QR codes for our Venmo and Cash App on each of these videos that I talk about the $1 Foundation, just in case anybody is on board with the idea of helping out, even if we don't have too specific of a direction to go yet. But that's really what I want to open the floor up to you guys for, is getting that conversation going on how can we actually help in the world. What can we get done like tomorrow or in the next week or so? Or we really need to come up with some projects that are achievable. The monetary value of these projects isn't as much of a concern to me, because that'll just be on my end of, it'll be my job to market and to get the funds. But I think you guys could be very, useful, just helping me brainstorm, because I think this was the whole idea of this, is to make it a collective effort. And if we succeed, then we succeed together, which I like the thought of that for sure. So I just want to definitely preach that, or practice that, and not just preach it. I don't want this to be a single-handed effort for me, because even if I was to succeed on my own, a team win feels better to me, honestly, in most cases. So this is so unorganized, and my thoughts are kind of scattered still. So I guess that's what I can do on my end for now, is just become better organized with everything that revolves around the $1 Foundation, and take the necessary steps to really start making it a success. But yeah, if you have the time, if you have the money, definitely I recommend you putting down $1 just one time, and I'll make good use of it. I will help some people with it for sure. And I think it wouldn't be a terrible idea for now, because we still have to get the 501c filing in for it, so to make it very official. So I won't be spending any money right now, I don't think, unless we get a substantial amount where we can actually operate with it. I think it's okay to have kind of a nest egg to build up, so that when we want to start maybe our first few projects and really get the ball rolling, then we can do that with the funds already ready to go. So that's kind of the plan. These small projects to start out will probably not cost more than a couple $100 for now, just making bag lunches for people that are struggling. And I really need more ideas, like, 'cause that's kind of all I have so far that's really achievable by myself, at least. So I definitely need more ideas, and I think you guys can be very helpful with that. And I think you might have fun with it too. The more I sit down with it and I think about these things, and I learn more about who really does need help and who is kind of taking advantage of the help that they get. Like, something I just recently learned was that there is a lot of welfare fraud, or welfare benefit fraud, that goes on, and that it makes up about, I think I read this stat somewhere, it's like 13.3% of the government's annual revenue is spent on covering like fraud cases and things like that. So to see that, I was pretty shocked and taken aback, and just it puts me in this weird place where I want to advocate for better welfare for all Americans and have more government spending towards it. But then I see things of, the people that are on welfare taking advantage of it and working side jobs while they're getting unemployment benefits, which it puts a bad taste in my mouth, honestly, and it makes me want to help those people less. But I know that there's really people suffering and living an honest life and trying to make it independently and struggling through the process. And those are the people that I want to help. So, yeah, so anything you guys have to help me brainstorm, and just any advice you could give me in, the creation of all of this and developing my ideas better. So, yeah, so that's kind of updates as to where I want to go with the foundation. And then I've kind of given you updates on my personal life, still looking for jobs. I got like 2 or 3 interviews tomorrow, a few more through the rest of the week. And so I'm just trying to get hired here. And I'll let you guys know when that happens, because I think a lot will be changing pretty quick. Like I'll move into my own place and everything, and hopefully get a car, and you guys will be able to see all of that, because I want to share my life with you guys. It's the reason I started the YouTube. It's because I just feel ready to be an open book for whoever is watching, and hopefully people can either learn from me or just be entertained, and I hope I can provide some kind of service for you guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna make another episode of this real soon with a friend of mine who I haven't made a podcast with yet. We might get into some music talk and hopefully talk more about the world and be able to teach you guys something and educate you a bit more, because that's kind of part of the plan with this series too. Walking through life and kind of learning things together, learning more about life, and coming to and definitely appreciating the things that are good that are going on around us. I'm grateful that the majority of my time back has been positive and good, and pretty peaceful, honestly. But yeah, so however your day's going, I hope it gets better than it has been going. If it's good, I hope it goes great for the rest of the day. If it's not going well, I hope it goes well for the rest of the day. And yeah, I hope you are walking through life with me. Honestly, I hope that you aren't getting too overwhelmed by things and are able to kind of talk through it and breathe through it and have good people around you to talk to, like I do. That's something else I'm very grateful for, is just having friends and family who actually care about things that I care about. So they'll take that time to hear everything that I have to say about everything. Let's just continue the journey. And I really encourage you guys to tell me anything that even if it's constructive criticism, anything that you would like to see in the next video, or things I could be doing better, or things that you like. I want to hear these things, and I just want to have conversation with my viewers, because I don't know, it's just fulfilling to me. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling at this point. I think I'll have more of a clear direction for the next episode. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.